If you are thinking about relocating to Vancouver, Washington, well, you might want to think again. And now you might be wondering why I'm saying this. Well, as someone who would be moving here, you might want to know why people are leaving this beautiful place. And you should investigate that further. Absolutely. So today I'm going to give you the tea here at the end of 2024 as to why people have been moving away from Vancouver, Washington. And there might be a little bit more to it than you thought about. Hey, my name is Cassandra Marks, also known as Realtor Cas. I am a farmer here in Southwest Washington with a wee little real estate problem and someone who has relocated here myself. And so when I was thinking about moving here to the Pacific Northwest, I was also thinking, why are people leaving? And it's definitely smart to know. So why do you think people are leaving Vancouver, Washington? Drop it down in the comments. I'd love to hear. But the number one reason, and this doesn't shock me or probably shock anyone, is the housing costs. So the Pacific Northwest, the West Coast has this thing called the West Coast tax. It's just expensive to live here. And I recently took a look at the sales price of a home here in December of 2024, and we are looking at an average sales price of $603,000 here. That's a lot. And it's even more when you think that I looked up the data from December of 2019, and the average home price then was $413,000. So we've seen a $200,000 price increase in just the last 5 years. And next, you might be asking, what does it cost to afford a house like that? Well, you need about $150,000 of household income to live comfortably here in Vancouver. And when I look at the community data and see what's going on in the area and what the average income here is in Vancouver, we're only looking at about $90,000. So there is a $60,000 difference between what you need to buy a house and what people are making here. And a lot of people, either they move out of the house as they're growing up, or they are moving out here, relocating out here, looking for a great place to live. They love the outdoors. They love doing everything out here. And then they realize that with whatever they're doing in life, that they probably are not going to be able to afford a house, because that's the next step. They want to afford a home. So then they go, oh, I can't. And it's more affordable to buy a house somewhere else, whether it's in the Midwest or down south, and then they end up leaving. So what is the second reason why people are leaving Vancouver, Washington? Well, it's because their family is elsewhere. I know that we, had the pandemic a few years ago, and people just really realized that they wanted to either be closer to or further away from their family. And so people are leaving just to do that. As we age, we start to have kids, and we might relocate for a job. And then maybe our family, our parents follow us because they want to be closer to us to spend time with the grandkids, or they need to be closer to us because they need care. So, just kind of moving around to be closer or further away from family. And that's a huge thing here, especially at the end of the year during the holiday season, because we spend time with our family and we do decide, do we want to be closer to them, or do we want to be further away from them? So it's not necessarily something to do with Vancouver at all. It's literally just a preference. And the third reason people are leaving Vancouver is honestly just to relocate for a change of pace, but a similar lifestyle. Yes, everything has been changing here in Vancouver because we've had a lot of people relocate in. So a lot of people are relocating out to find that similar pace that they knew and they loved as they lived here originally. And I see a lot of people either moving to Spokane in Eastern Washington, or like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, or even further east into Montana. And with all of that, they're finding that they can still hike, they can still bike, they can still ski, they can still camp. It is similar geography. You got the mountains, you get almost everything except the ocean, but you get almost everything else. And people love to, maintain that type of life. Also, not only is the community changing, because we're seeing a lot of relocation in from, say, California, Arizona, and Texas. So people aren't necessarily loving that, but we're also seeing a lot of people relocate for retirement. Since Washington happens to be one of the most expensive states to live in the United States, where we're seeing, and I think a lot of that is because people look at it as a whole from the Seattle perspective. Vancouver is 11% more affordable than Seattle, but we are still 4% more expensive than, the national average throughout the rest of the country. So we're seeing a lot of people relocate out of here for retirement because, your money only goes so far and you need to make smart retirement decisions. So you can sell a 4, 6, probably a six to $800,000 house here in Southwest Washington and pick up a similar house, say in Arizona. We sold my dad's house, which was a 3-bed, 2-bath, for about $325,000. So you can take that equity that you're going to be gaining moving south and apply it to activities, travel, costs of living, any sort of medical expenses. So a lot of people are moving south for those reasons. So yeah, maybe Vancouver isn't quite for you. Well, you are in luck. And if you know geography, even just a tiny bit, then you know that Oregon is just across the Columbia River to the south of Vancouver. So maybe something in the Portland metro area will suit you just a tiny bit better. And right here, I have a video that you can go over all the different areas of Portland that you might want to consider if you're going to make a move to there. If the reasons I just shared of why people are leaving don't really bother you much, which I don't think they will, then I'd love to connect and share all the cool stuff that I know about Southwest Washington so that you can reach out to me via email, text, or DM on the socials at Realtor Cas. And per the norm, my contact information, description below. But if you're watching on a TV, you probably need this cute little QR code. You can scan this and it'll put my contact information right into your phone. Hey, so I appreciate you spending time with me today. I'm Cassandra Marks, your farmer, friend, and guide to Southwest Washington. And until I see you again, bye.